I am not gonna mess up this one today. Check. Yes. There we are. Boom. Would you look at that? We have a microphone. And now, as long as I don't unplug the audio interface before I stop recording, we should be good to go. And then it'll sound good. And it won't sound bad like the last one. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Oh well. Good morning. I definitely just woke up. However, today is a little bit later than I normally do it because it's 10:40 a.m. That's too late. That's a lot later than I normally do it. Oh well. Yeah, I woke up at 4:30 a.m. on the couch. Last night I was working on a song. I had this date last night. Came home, started working on the song. Next thing I know, I'm waking up at 4:30 a.m. on the couch. That was interesting. There's a lot going through my head right now. I'm trying to balance it all out. What should we talk about first? There's a lot that happened in the last couple weeks. There's a lot that happened. One of those things is I feel like I have a weight off my shoulders now. Because I played sports growing up. I played basketball, water polo, swimming, wrestling, not very much baseball. I played a lot of sports for a long time growing up, and snowboarding. And this is hard to say, because for so long I was so scared to tell anybody about it. But now I guess it's okay because everything's fine. Back in the day, I say that like I'm super old. I guess that's relative. Back in the day, I was not super careful in a lot of the things that I did. So I've had a concussion or two. And for the last year or so, it's been really worrying me because I've had these headaches, like crazy, crazy headaches. Within the last 6 months, I've had some balance issues, like I can't stand up straight, and a bunch of other things. And with all these things, I was like, I'm fine. I'm never going to the doctor. And then a couple weeks ago, it got so bad. The headaches got so bad. Fatigue, another really big symptom. I was like, I'm in so much pain that I'm exhausted. And obviously these things came and went. It wasn't always, but it was frequently. And so what I did is I finally got to a point where I was like, I can't take this anymore. This is too much. And I went to the doctor. Doctor agreed with me. He was like, these aren't good symptoms. You should go get a MRI on your brain. And when I heard that, I was like, uh-oh. So I did. That's what I did a week ago on Saturday. I went and I got I got an MRI on my brain, and I was terrified. Because when you hear something like that, you're like, they're going to tell me I have a brain tumor. So, anyway, I do the MRI. I come back. They're like, we'll call you in 1 to 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, good. At least it's short. But then, despite my sarcasm, they called on Tuesday. And they were like, we have your MRI results. I was like, oh boy. And they said, so, your brain is fine. I was like, brain is fine. I'm like, no TBI, no post-concussion syndrome, no tumor. They're like, nope, none of that. Your brain looks perfect. I was like, okay, then what the schnitz is going on? They're like, yeah, turns out you have the worst sinus infection we've ever seen. I was like, oh. They said, you've probably had it for more than a year. I'm like, what? So, I think that's the best way you can be told that you have a sinus infection. When you're expecting something way worse. So, anyway, for the last few weeks, I've been really kind of worried about that. And I'm chilling now. Don't think less of myself, just think of myself less. I'm getting into a whole ego thing right now. So, what am I eating today? Leftover chicken tikka masala. I'm living it up. It's actually really good. Sorry. I would say, even though chicken tikka masala is not necessarily a breakfast food, it's really good in the morning. Because it's kind of, I don't know, you put creamer in your coffee. This is kind of creamy. It's good. Big fan. So, yeah, what else is going on? Oh, if you can't tell by my face, I have a real hard time growing a beard. This is about 5 or 6 days. Can't do it. It's pretty tough. I told my brother that when I go home for Christmas, I told my brother that I wasn't going to shave until I came home for Christmas. And I'm going home tomorrow. But I have this event tonight, and I think that I'm going to shave. Because it's a big thing tonight, and I don't want to look like a caveman. Yeah, this is the best I got, unfortunately. I wish I could grow a beard, but I cannot. Alas. So this is going to be a little bit of a switch, but in my head, if we're going to switch, let's freaking switch, dude. So here's the switch. I Let me remember the switch. Oh, yeah. I have a very big pressure inside me to ultimately what it is, it's to make people like me. And that has manifested itself lately in trying really hard to be funny. Like I don't know if it's trying too hard, probably sometimes, but I have really tried to make people laugh, especially recently, because it's one of my favorite things to do. But I find that the more success I have, the more pressure I put on myself for the next time. And then the less likely I am to be funny the next time. Because instead of just being in the moment and flowing, I'm in my head. That's just how it goes, I guess. I'm sensing a pattern. Things start going well. I want them to continue to go well. So I start thinking about how I can make them go well, when in fact, not thinking about how it was going to go well made it go well. Get all that? Chicken bite. And ultimately, I think I need to just speak whatever's on my mind, because when I don't, I guess that's why I really like this. It gives me an opportunity to say what's on my mind. And so it's not swirling around in here, and I can get it out. Because when I get it out, then I can see it. I can see the full picture, you know? Yeah. So, long story short, I'm shaving my beard tomorrow. Maybe today. I can't even call it a beard, dude. This is like a... I have a haircut later today, too. She's gonna make fun of me. I'm gonna be like, don't touch my sideburns. She's gonna be like, they're more like side singes. See? Sometimes I take a lot of swings. Can't be batting 1,000. Big old pita. Definitely should have brought a napkin in here. I'm going home for Christmas tomorrow. Yeah, baby. That is going to be so fun. I haven't been home since Easter. That's a long time. It's like 8 months, dude. More than 8 months. I haven't been home since Easter. Wow. Yeah. I just had an idea. I have to write it down before I forget it. Anyway. Yeah. Going home for Christmas. I'm staying Sunday to Sunday. So, it's going to be a ton of fun. My whole extended family is going to be there. I'm going to try to say this without sounding cornball. They might be my favorite people in the whole world. How many of them are there? There's more now. All right. My dad has 3 sisters. Okay, so there's my family, which is 4. Next sister has a family of 4. Okay, so that's 8. Plus the 3 kids of their 2 kids. So that's 8 plus 3, so that's 11. Plus 5, second sister. Plus 5, so that's 16. Plus 4. Dang. We're going to have 20 stinking people. Plus grandma and grandpa. That's 22, dude. Whoa. $24, because I forgot the spouses of my cousins. 24. Wow. That's going to be a ton of fun. And I'm like, you talk about a family with just a bunch of freaking winners. Like, I go home and I'm like, I see all these people. I feel so good after I see them. Because I'm like, man, knowing you somehow helps me know me better, you know? There's something there. I should unpack that later, but not right now. Because I'm just too excited to see him. Yeah, I haven't been home since Easter. I went home. I saw my parents for an afternoon in August. But that was because I had flown into town to go to the river with one of my high school friends. And then I came back and I had like 5 hours to kill before my flight. And so I had my buddy drop me off at home at my parents' place. And I got to see them. But really, I'm the most excited to see the pooch. Sadie's the man. She's a golden doodle. She doesn't do a lot. But man, she's the sweetest little thing. She's not little, actually. I think she's like 85 pounds. No, 96 pounds. She's 96 pounds. I know this because my mom told me recently. She was like, you are not going to believe this. I took Sadie to the vet today, and she was 96 pounds. I was like, that's a big dog. And my mom was like, yeah, the vet said the same thing. Vet was like, she should actually probably be closer to 80 pounds. I'm like, how much you been feeding her, Ma? Yeah. Yeah. So when I go home for Christmas, several of my cousins are big, jacked dudes. And I'm in good shape. But I'm not 6'4", freaking 230, you know? I am 6 foot, 175. Yeah, I'm not that. But when I've been working out pretty hard recently because I'm like, I'm not going to be the punching bag here. I'm going to be little rice rocket. I don't know. I'm going to be smaller than them, but I'm going to be jacked. Jacked! So anyway, when I go home, there's a bench press in my parents' backyard. And I'm pretty excited to work out with my dad, because that dude, he's always been in really, really good shape. I mean, the freaking guy is in his late 50s. Like, he just turned 59. And he still rides his bike to work every day. Well, maybe like 3 days a week, but like that's 20 miles. 10 of those miles on the way home are straight uphill. That's impressive. And he's done that for like 20 years. Maybe not quite, but a long time. You should see the dude's calves. Yeah, it's nuts. My parents have always just been in really good shape, you know? Like, they were athletes in college, after college too. Yeah, I've always thought of my parents as athletes. Yeah, so when I go home, there's a bench press in the backyard. I'm going to be like, shall we bench? And I don't want to brag or anything, but I have been eating like 2 pounds of meat a day, and I have been working out pretty hard. So yesterday was chest day. And I laid down on the bench, and I'm like, all right, let's just see how many we can do. I had 135 on the bar, and I was like, 15. All right, great. Put it down. I put 25s on, so now it's 185. I did 6, which I wish I would have done more. But I didn't wait very long after doing 15. Probably should have. I was essentially just kind of going. I was like, I don't really care how many I do. I just want to see how many I can do. And then after 185, I put on 10s, and so now it's 205, and then I did 3 of those. And I was like, I can't do a 4th, so I put it back up. And then I was like, all right, 225, and then I did one. I did 1 of 225. I probably could have done 2, but I didn't because I didn't have a spotter. And 225 is my all-time max. I've done that 3 times in my life, and yesterday was the 3rd time. And I wasn't even trying. I wasn't following a max set. You know, I was just kind of going. So I know I can do more than that. So that's my goal for when I go home. I'm going to work out in the backyard. I got to put a towel on that bench because it hurts my shoulder blades. But that's my goal. I'm going to bench more than 225. My goal is 245. I know I can do 245. We'll see if we can do 275. 275 might be right on the edge. We'll try it. Yeah, I don't know. Feeling strong lately, though, which is good. And I think a lot of that has to do with there's a huge storm cloud that's gone because I don't have a brain tumor. I was so worried about that for so long. That was scary, man. There was one night I was so, it was so bad. The headache was so bad. The fatigue was, I don't know if I've been more mentally exhausted than at the end of that day. This was probably 3 weeks ago. Maybe 2. This is the night that made me go to the doctor. Because I was laying there and I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna let go. If tonight's the night that you take me, I have accepted that. And looking back at that, I'm like, dude, you should have gone to the doctor way before that. But yeah, I guess that's what it took. It took me accepting meeting God to finally go to the doctor. I was like, all right, if I wake up in the morning, God, I am going to the doctor. But it was really that bad. Like, I can be dramatic sometimes. Often. But that was, I legitimately thought I might die. Because I thought I had a brain tumor. That really contributes. How you think is everything. Like, what you believe to be true. That's crazy. Your brain is so powerful. So, anyway, I feel pretty good now. Chicken tikka masala, baby. I'm all about it. Oh! I know what naan is like. Naan is like a pancake, and that's why it feels normal to eat naan right now. Not that I eat pancakes a lot. And to be honest, it's closer to lunch than it is to breakfast. I'll eat naan later. Because it's real messy. I kind of like the fork. So anyway, that's my take on working out. I'm pretty excited. And if I can PR with my dad, I think that'd be pretty cool. The only thing is, the bench press that they have in their backyard has a 35-pound bar. It's not 45. It's a 35-pound bar. What the schnitz? So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just have my brother sit on it. Because, he's super skinny. So he'll add 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Oh! God, I can't wait to shave. I think I'm just going to send my family a picture and be like, I'm sorry. I couldn't hold out. I couldn't do it. I have to shave. I have to get this off my face. If it looked good, that would be one thing. But it does not. Oh well. Anyway. Doctors are expensive, dude. Doctors are so expensive. I tore my MCL in February of this year. I have insurance. My insurance sucks, dude. I have like a $5,000 deductible, but not everything that I pay for counts towards the deductible. So, I think this year, all in, because I've had 2 MRIs, one on my knee, one on my brain, a lot of doctor's visits, a lot of physical therapy. I have to go see an ear, nose, and throat doctor now. I want it. I've definitely paid more than $5,000. Yet my deductible says you have only spent like 3. So we're still not going to cover things until you hit 5. But I'm pretty sure I've spent close to 8, maybe 9. Just this year, on me, medical bills. Crazy, dude. I'm a healthy guy. I can't imagine being sick. Yeah, doctors are expensive, dude. Insurance sucks. It's a scam. They don't cover anything. My freaking car insurance, too. Now this is just a rant. My car insurance went up like $1,200 this year. I used to pay $2,600, and then I moved, and now it's $3,800. Like $3,800 a year, not a month. I'm like, I called my insurance agent. I was like, why did it go up so much? He's like, because you moved to an area where less people have insurance. I'm like, oh, so me doing the right thing, getting insurance, I'm being punished for it, and I have to pay for the people that are scum of society that aren't getting car insurance? That makes sense. I'm being punished for doing the right thing. Love that. That's ridiculous. People, just do your... contribute to society. You know what I mean? Like, those people are just like the bottom feeders. And then they're all... yeah, anyway. I had to go to another doctor because I have found out some kind of Italian hernia or something. I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was something like a Guido hernia. I'm like, is that because... I don't know. I can't see anything. They were like, you'd be able to see it. But I can't see anything. They say it's from lifting. I'm like, oh. Can't say that doesn't make sense. Yeah. So anyway, that's another doctor that I had to go to. But here's something fun that I'm very excited about. I have a friend in my Bible study, community group, whatever you want to call it, that she's from South Africa. And she's been here on an au pair assignment for just about a year. She's been here since January. And she's getting ready to go back to South Africa, which is a big bummer because she's awesome. And I really like having her around. But she's going back to South Africa because her time is up. And so as kind of a going away party, she's throwing a braai. She's throwing a braai. Oh. I learned how you say that. Jess, was that lekker? Lekker? I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm trying. Anyway, she's thrown a braai, which is what I've learned. A braai is essentially a barbecue in South Africa. They have a big pit with a fire, and they roast animals just like we do. And then they eat those animals. And they get wild and have booze. And apparently this one, I don't know if this is true for all braais, but we're wearing all green. Because of Springbok. I think that's the team. Springbok. That's how she always says it. Springbok. Accents are so fun. And there's nothing cuter than a girl with an accent. you know. So that's what I've got going on tonight. If I didn't have that tonight, I would be on a plane right now going home. That's originally what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to get on a plane to go home on Saturday, which is today. However, then Jess texted me, or I heard. I don't know if she texted just me. It was probably everybody. But she was like, hey, Saturday, December 20th, we're throwing the bri. I was like, shucks, I'm out of town. She's like, that's a big bummer. I'll see you next time you're in South Africa. And I was like, okay, I'm changing my flight. So I did. Now I'm flying out tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to be... I could be rather hungover. Tomorrow. I don't really drink. I'm not a drinker. I had a drink last night on my date. But other than that, I want to say the last beer that I had was visiting my cousin in Texas for Thanksgiving. It's been almost a month. I don't really drink. And I'm kind of nervous because Jess was like, when you walk into this house tonight, the first thing you get handed is a shot. I'm like, okay. My 21-year-old self is looking at me like, come on. But I'm like, dude, I'm 26. I had 2 beers yesterday, and I woke up with a headache today. I'm like, what the? Also, could be from the crazy sinus infection. Who knows? So, this is my way of going about remedying my hangover. I'm drinking electrolytes starting at 8:17 a.m. Bottoms up. We shall see. Oh, it's actually pretty good. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, I'm wearing green. I'm shaving my face. We're gonna get wild. It's gonna be nuts because it's a bunch of my church friends. And we typically don't get that wild. That's gonna change in about 5 hours. Oh boy, I have a lot to do today. I haven't packed. I have a website called drunkmerch.bar, which is where we have a bunch of really kind of funny shirts and stuff like that. I had this one idea, and I was like, I should sell that. And the idea is this shirt. It's a very basic shirt. It has nothing on the front. And on the back, it says, this shirt is not on backwards. I thought that was freaking funny. I thought that was pretty good. And so, out of that birthed the idea of drunkmerch.bar. That is the website. It's not .com. It's not .org. It's .bar. Drunkmerch.bar. And it's just a bunch of goofy stuff and stuff I had a lot of fun making. But I was wearing my this shirt is not on backwards shirt to the last haircut that I went to get. And the lady that cuts my hair was like, I love that shirt. Where did you get it? And I was like, I made it. She was like, my husband would really like that shirt. I'm like, I bet he would. I will bring him one. And so I ordered like $500 worth of stuff from my own website so that I can give them away for Christmas presents and stuff like that. And I can write that off because it's like, it's advertising. It's marketing. It's a business expense. I ordered all these things. They came in 2 boxes. I'm giving most of those things to my family when I go home for Christmas. And his shirt was in there. And I shipped it home. So it's on its way to California right now. And I am in Colorado. And his shirt is not here. And my haircut is in like an hour and a half. So, sorry, Kelsey. Sorry, Kelsey's husband. What's his name? Melvin? Chester? Something funny like that. Something foreign. Moosehead. That's what it is. It's Moosehead. Moose Drool. Pretty decent beer. So I'm excited for the Bry. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Bry's going to be fun. All right, what else is going on? What else am I thinking about? I got a keyboard. This one over there. Don't know if you can see it. I have this one here. But this one is a MIDI keyboard. It plugs into my computer. That one is a real one. It like has weighted keys and everything. And it's a ton of fun to play. Here's the thing. My grandpa asked me to put together a bunch of songs for Christmas. Since we're having everybody over, he was like, so you should, Mr. Music Producer, come up with a pageant of sorts. I'm like, a pageant, you say? He's like, yes, indeed, a pageant. I'm like, sick. So he gave me this song that I had never heard. It was a Mary's Boy Child, I think is what it's called. It's by this he sounds Caribbean. You know? Sounds like he's got a good tan on him. But he has this song called Mary's Boy Child that Grandpa loves. And I had never heard it. And it's from the 50s. So, you know, it's not modern by any stretch. But I've been trying to learn it on the piano so that I can play it along with Grandpa. So Grandpa's going to play it on the guitar and he's going to sing and I'm going to try to play it on the piano. We shall see. But I've been learning other Christmas songs so that we can play them. And so that Grandpa, I don't know, Grandpa is a very, kind of an idealist, you know? So he comes up with these ideas and he's like, let's make them happen. And then he doesn't do a lot to make them happen. That's not true. He built a freaking barn in his backyard. And he lives in Iowa for half the year and he bales hay, grows hay. Okay, so I'm saying things that are incorrect. But yeah, that's what we're doing. And so I'm learning a bunch of Christmas songs. One of them is Last Christmas by Wham! And it's actually super easy to play. Yeah, it's super easy to play. Okay, for some reason, I feel like I have to remind myself why I'm doing this. I feel like I'm getting out. Oh! This is tight. I feel like I've lost sight of why I'm doing this. And so, this is why. Because I want to get better at speaking. I want to be more confident in my own thought processes so that I can start speaking. And even if I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, I want to be confident enough in my abilities and trust myself enough to know that I'm going to get there. Even if I start. Like, I know that I have a good start, and so I know that I'll finish well. That's one of the reasons I want to do this. Another reason is so that I can tell good stories. Because I love telling stories. I want to tell good stories. A third reason is I want to see who I am before I have any influence on my mood, on my thoughts for the day. I want to know what I truly think. Who am I? That's kind of what I'm figuring out right now. You know? Are there any other reasons? So, more confidence in my ability to speak. Better at telling stories. Here's a fourth one. I would like to be... See, I started right there. And I didn't have anywhere to go. Although I know that there is one more. Oh. I want to speak what I'm thinking so that I can be more present and I'm not in my head. Because sometimes when I don't speak about things, they balloon. They become huge. They're just these... You know what I'm saying? They get exponentially worse in your head because you're just kind of letting them. Instead of letting them out. So that's what I think. That's why I'm doing this. I want to be able to let all the crap out so that the good stuff is right there on the surface. And I can more adequately lead with my heart. Cornball. More electrolytes. Yeah! We're getting healthy. I'm to the point now where if something's not good for me, I'm not going to do it. Like my boss brought in donuts yesterday to the office. I used to love donuts. I didn't eat one. Why? Because I had a pound of chicken in the fridge. And I was like, that'll fill me up. It'll make me feel a lot better. and I know that it's good for me. And then I looked at the donuts and I was like, how am I going to feel after I eat that? Chances are probably not super great. So I didn't. I, however, did eat one corn cookie that Liz brought in. Those were pretty good. It was a corn cookie, so I felt a little bit better about it. Although it probably had just as much sugar. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that I need to say that I'm excited about? Any other stories I'd like to tell? So I started January Gypsy. I had the whole song written. Wednesday, Thursday maybe, I recorded all the vocals for it. And then last night, this was the song I was working on when I fell asleep on the couch. I was like, something ain't right. Like, this just ain't it. And so I wanted to do it kind of a cappella with a vocoder effect. But I'm not that good a singer. So it was sounding kind of like garbage. And what I did instead was I had the chord progression and everything, and then I just muted the vocals instead of the chords. And it sounded way better. Like, way better. So that was a little bit of an ego check. Hey, big fella. You're not good at everything. Alright. So, I'm trying. I'm trying to make something work. Because that one is... Honestly, it's pretty good right now. I don't hate it. Now I just need to figure out, I have this kind of cool ARP melody, and now I kind of have to figure out where am I going to go with it? And how do I... Because I wasn't planning on having drums in this. And so now I'm like, what do the drums sound like? I think I have an idea of where I'm going to go. But we shall see. I just had an idea. All right. I better go record that idea before I forget it. Okay. Merry Christmas to all. And to all a good morning. I hope, Christmas is going to be great. I'm very excited about it. To wrap things up, I think I would like to say Springbok. Have a wonderful day.